it's Miss Brenner. I hope you're all doing well and staying happy and healthy. This is our week 7 agenda. This is just a reminder that weeks 1 through 3, as far as missing assignments, will close for late submissions on the 7th of March at 11:59 p.m. So please make sure if you have any late submissions for weeks 1 through 3 that you had those submitted. Along with that, weeks 4 through 6 will close on the Monday at the beginning of week 8. So please just be aware of that if you are turning in late submissions for weeks 4 through 6, make sure you have that in by then. I will send you a reminder about that as well. Alrighty, guys. So with that being said, our activities for this week are a little bit confusing, so I wanted to make sure I made you a video. We are going to be looking at AI technology since we are looking at technology in science fiction. So we have our 3 rules of robotics video that I'd like you to watch. Since Isaac Asimov, who is the gentleman who wrote the story we will be reading together this week, is the father of the concept of robotics and AI technology in science fiction. So we'll be looking at his 3 rules of robotics and reading Little Lost Robot by Isaac Asimov. You may know him from a very popular line of science fiction movies, such as I, Robot. So Little Lost Robot also has an audio if you'd like to listen to it. When you go to this audio, it's for his entire collection of short stories. So in the description box on YouTube, you would just go down to whichever chapter it is, which would be Little Lost Robot. If you click on the chapter, it'll take you directly to that story in the audio. Along with that, we have our reading questions for Little Lost Robot. There's a slide about halfway through that asks you to do the foreshadowing chart. And then at the end, we are practicing finding pieces of illusion. This concept of illusion is popular in all genres of literature, but it is particularly important in science fiction, considering the fact that they are trying to bridge a gap between something that is a new concept at the time of their writing. So AI technology was something that was fairly new when Isaac Asimov started creating his stories wrapped around this concept. So he uses illusion to try and help normal people in society to understand what it would look like and feel like to be participating in some kind of science fiction concept. After we read our story together, Little Lost Robot, we are going to have some choices. So this is where you get to pick from a collection of 3 options as far as AI technology in science fiction. So your options are to read either Cat Pictures, Please, Mika Model, or if you really like Isaac Asimov, we have the short story Reason. Now, Cat Pictures, Please is going to be a good amount of dry humor, and it's going to be AI technology that does not embody like a human form. So a lot of Isaac Asimov's robots take on some kind of figure, along with a lot of other robot-based science fiction. Cat Pictures, Please does not do that. So keep that in mind when you're reading the story, that the AI does not have some kind of physical form. Along with that, it contains some adult concepts such as suicide and other things that are very heavy, sexuality and things of that nature. So if you do not want to read those kinds of pieces of literature, I would recommend avoiding Cat Pictures, Please, and picking one of the other options. Now, Mika Models also has some adult topics. It does not contain things like suicide and sexual identity, but it does contain some adult concepts of sexual actions. So if you are trying to avoid that, avoid Mika Model. Isaac Asimov's Reason, completely PG-13. There's really nothing overly heavy in this reading. So if you are looking for something that's a little bit more lighthearted, but still related to science fiction with AI technology, Reason would be the way to go. I do have audiobooks for Cat Pictures, Please, and for Reason by Isaac Asimov, but I do not have an audiobook for Mika Model. So once again, you're picking one of these 3 and then completing the reading question slides. Now, when you look at these slides, they are divided into color groupings. So if you want to read Mika Model, which again has adult content, it would be the orange slides. If you want to read Cat Pictures, Please, which has a lot of dry humor, and some adult subjects, you would read the green, you would use the green slides. And if you want to read Reason, which is about PG-13, you would do the blue slides. After that, we have a discussion post looking back at comparing AI technology with Little Lost Robot and just AI technology in general in science fiction. For our third activity, we're looking at college and career readiness. Now, if you are a senior, you still need to complete this assignment. However, you will not need to post it to your college and career readiness portfolio. If you are in 10th or 11th grade, you will need to complete this assignment and post it to your college and career readiness portfolio. If you are in my fourth block, so technically, although this is an online class, you work at your own pace and you work by your own schedule for the course. If you are scheduled in the fourth block, so if you look at home access, you will need to make sure that you post this and check your email. You'll get an update from me saying that I double checked to make sure it was in there, and that we will then throughout next week work on your career path for college and career readiness. All right, so this document is going to talk about your concept of looking at AI technology in the future from a science fiction perspective and reflecting on problem solving, since problem solving is a big portion of science fiction. And when we're talking about college and career readiness, problem solving is one of the #1 traits that all careers are looking for. So that is our college and career readiness and our activity 3. Lastly, we have our silent reading reflection for week 7. We are looking at what you find engaging about your silent reading option. Remember, that should be something outside of this course, and it should not be any kind of textbook that you have for any other class. It should be something that you pick that you personally are invested in reading. You would log that in your silent reading log at the top of the Schoology page as well every day, because you should read about 30 minutes every day. Alrighty, guys, those are all of our assignments for this week. If you have any questions about your grades, about when you can turn in missing assignments, or if you just need support, please feel free to email me. I'd be happy to talk to you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye.